back-to-back homogenous white Americans. Ooh, that could be a bit of overkill. So, hi everyone, I'm Joseph. How's it going? Nice to see you all here. Thanks for coming out. Going to talk a little bit about being a kid tonight. I remember being a kid myself. I grew up in a small town in Ohio. If you want to know what it's like to grow up in America in Ohio, picture a Venn diagram that is farms and racism, and then that little tiny overlapping slit right there. That's Ohio. Just racist farmers. But when we grew up in the 80s, we were what I called free-range children, you know, like a chicken or a stray cat. You guys still do free-range children here. You just let your kids go. There's no, you know, like it's not as tense. It's not as strict. Parents aren't as paranoid and crazy. You know, like when I was a kid, my mom would be like, you know, Mom, we're going out. What are you doing? Oh, we're going to ride 2 towns over and throw rocks at a train with a hobo we met the other day. Be back before dinner. You know, that was it. That's as much proof as you had to, and you would. And it was a nice hobo, and the rocks soared through the air majestically. But you guys still do that here. I think, you know, you're still very open with the parenting. I think, honestly, I've been trying to trace when it changed in America, like when it really got all tense and paranoid, and I really think it had to do with To Catch a Predator. Now, I don't know if everybody here knows what To Catch a Predator is. This was a television program we had in America sometime in the 2000s, where basically they set up like a sting operation to catch like internet pedophiles. But like when it becomes the norm, when every Thursday at 8 p.m. you get to watch 3 pedophiles getting taken down, like you're pretty sure there are pedophiles everywhere. You know what I mean? It becomes a scary thing. To this day, that show is the reason that I am deathly afraid of children. Because, quite frankly, I fit the fucking profile, alright? I'm a middle-aged, balding white dude that's not married and has no kids. Like, sometimes I'm playing a game on the Xbox and I'm talking Trent, and it's like, oh shit, he was 8. Oh, god damn it. Oh, are the Catch a Predator guys gonna bust through my window right now? Like, ah, shit. I don't know, man. It got really tense. Things got really weird about, like, you know, having kids. And, like, it's a strange thing, I think, you know. Like, when I was a kid, in addition, like, I had no rights as a child. Nobody gave a shit what I said or what I thought. Nobody cared. You know, nowadays, like, a kid says something, they're like, what is that little, what's Susie? What little Timmy? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? It's like, I'm 4. I shit my pants. Like, it's nothing. But, like, you know, to that degree, like, anything I said or did would enrage my father in the 80s. He'd be violently angry at me for whatever outburst I had. Whereas my mother would just try and soothe everything over. She became like a sugar gangster. You know what I mean? It was like her job just to be like, look, kid, just take the Coca-Cola and walk away. Be smart about this. You know, like anytime I had a problem, it was soothed over with a Coca-Cola. Like that's how she solved every single problem. And like very much a true story. When I was 5 years old, my psychotic next door neighbor, this little 6-year-old kid, buried a hatchet in the back of my skull and almost killed me. Nearly fractured my skull. Whole hospital trip, you know, whole deal. And I, true story, walked in to my mother, holding my head together with one hand and said, just give me a Coke, everything will be all right. Just give me a Coke, Mom, just give me a Coke. Because that's how trained I was, you know what I mean? Now, I poke and I tease at my mother a little bit here and there, but my mother was great. She was a great mother. Everybody had a great mother. Let's get a round of applause for Mom. That's a trick right there. That's a trap. Because, like, if you're on a date, you have to clap at that or you're not getting laid tonight. You know what I mean? If you didn't clap right there, like, that's a little on-stage trick where I get everybody to clap just to kind of amp up a little bit, you know? But I've been hanging out with my sister's kids a little bit, and I've noticed that with this new sense of, like, the lack of free-range childing, you know, and I will say, obviously, the hatchet in the back of the head, that might be a side effect of the free-range children system. Maybe. We could call it that. But I've been hanging out with my sister's kids, and I've noticed, like, they're sociopaths. I mean, straight up, some of the things that they do and say, if I did as an adult in modern society, I'd be locked up. Like right now, I'd be in the fucking psych ward. Like my sister's daughter, my niece, you know, she has like this definite tell. She does this thing. She goes, well, and that's when you know she's about to say the most fucking vicious, malicious, psychotic, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're sitting there, we're going into the movies one day, and we get up to the ticket window, and I stop, and I tap, and I go, oh, God, hold on, I forgot my wallet, we gotta go back to the car, I only have a $20 bill. And she goes, buy it with the $20 bill, because she hates to walk, and I'm always standing behind her, just kicking her, like, you got legs, bitch, you know what I mean, I don't put up with that. And she's like, well, you buy the tickets with that. And I said, honey, that could only buy 2 tickets, there's 3 of us. And she goes, well, Taylor could sit on that bench over there and wait for us. And it's like, Jesus Christ, if I said that to one of my friends, like, hey, you don't have enough money to get, dude, you just wait outside. We'll see you in 2 hours, all right? We'll let you know how it was. Like, that person would never hang out with me again, you know what I mean? I'd be, you know. we're sitting in an actual, like in a TGI Fridays, in a restaurant, having dinner, and they each get a plate of food. And all my nephew does is he reaches over, he eats one of her fries, he eats a French fry, one French fry, and she just immediately, with the confidence of a serial killer that's got someone locked up in their basement right now, just shoves his plate off the table. Boom, crashed into the ground. Said, Lila, that was their plate, his food, what do you, well, he could eat it off the floor. It's like, Jesus Christ, that is savage. It's like, where do you get that confidence at the age of 4? You know what I mean? It really, really shocks me. I don't know, though, since I've moved up here and I've gotten older and stuff, like I got a lot of friends that are younger than me, and they confuse me sometimes. Like, I'll have a friend, and it's like, you know, this guy that can barely keep his life together, can barely pay for his drinks at the bar, can barely, you know what I mean? And he's just a wreck. And then one day he'll say some shit like, oh yeah, I just finished my master's in genetic engineering. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't even make basic sense. Like, I went to art school, you know what I mean? I went to art school and like, I learned how to paint and draw and shit, you know? I will say this for my last little bit here. I've noticed this as an artist. If you're working on a piece, if you're drawing in public, if you're in your own private studio, wherever you are, if somebody sees you drawing, they will have 2 initial reactions every time. Number 1, they will immediately question the validity of your work. Holy shit, did you really do that? Like, even if you're in mid-painting, wow, did you really do that? No, man, I just totally set this up for the moment you walked in to fuck with you. That was my whole plan. I was trying to trick you. Another guy did this. I had him get halfway through and then told him to abandon it so I could play this joke. I have no idea if I just fucked it up worse or not. It's so crazy. And then after they confirm that you in fact did this, they'll immediately go, man, I am so bad at art, I could never do that, I could never do that. Which doesn't happen in any other profession. Like, could you imagine being at the dentist and he holds up the fucking mirror and he's like, okay, what do you think? And you're like, did you do that? Did you really pull that tooth? I bet one of the other guys did it. You didn't do that. There's no way you did that. Man, I could never pull a tooth. I'm terrible at pulling tooth. Like, ladies, could you imagine being at the gynecologist? Like, are those really your fingers down there? Are you really doing that? Is that really you? God, man, I could never examine myself like that. I am terrible at it. All right, anyways, guys, thanks for putting up with me. Appreciate it.